on tour as a grown man, what are the most important things that you have to keep in check in order for you to feel good or have a good experience while you're on tour?
I have to try to eat at least one good meal.
Mm.
You know, when we were younger, it was like eat whatever garbage, fast food, and just go drink, you know, get buzzed, play the show, whatever, you know, it was like, but as a grown man, and I've been a grown man for a while now, it's more about like, let me, you know, get to where I got to go, get a good meal in, and then there's that window of time I got to digest. Because when I go up there, I ain't gonna be sitting on a chair.
You're way more.
I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna try to give it my all when I get on stage.
And you're more conscious of what's going to get you into the state of mind to be able to give your all.
Exactly.
Your whole day is kind of based around being able to have this massive burst of energy at 8 p.m. or whatever.
Yep, that's a fact, man. You know, have our, you know, the first things first with the coffee, nice little coffee in the morning, then breakfast, and then maybe if I can get one more, you know, good meal in before the show. And this might sound boring to some people, but that's the reality, man. When you get, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm here to, you know, this is, you know, I love doing this, but this is my job as well. You know, and as you get older, you treat it more that way. You know, when you're younger, you treat it as just like an experience. You know, you're just out there.
Right.
Whatever comes.
Let's live as hard as we can.
However you react to whatever it is how you react. It's like,
I used to think it was so cool to get like 2 hours sleep. Just stay up all night, wake up early, just do a bunch of crazy shit all day.
Yeah, now you need like what?
Yeah, well, now I just recognize that, if I get 8 hours, I am going to feel way better than if I get 5.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So I need to do that in order to take care of myself, you know?
And it's hard the way we do it because we don't take days off. Because we can't afford days off. So we hit it, you know, consecutive. And it's like sometimes you'll get out of a venue and even though you're done, you got to unwind. And then by the time you get to the hotel, you get checked in. It's like you're going to bed at 1, 2 in the morning. It's like you don't want to, but that's what it is. And it's like then sometimes if you have a long drive, you got to get up at 8, you know. So it's like the sleep thing could sometimes be rough on the road. But that's another important thing is to try to get a little bit of sleep, you know, try to just...
Whatever
take
can
your
get,
vitamins, man. Just, you know, try to take care of yourself as best you can, you know.
And I've been on trips in recent memory where I was getting 2 hours sleep every night just because the schedule was so packed and we had to fly out every morning.
That sucks, man.
And yeah, it's terrible. I can have a good time, but it's like, am I the best version of myself? For sure, no.
For sure, no. Your brain's not working.
But I also like the feeling sometimes of knowing that I still got it in me to really just work my ass off on no sleep,
to grind it out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely know that feeling too.
But I think it's also just important to recognize when you're not at your best. Like, if I'm answering emails, a lot of times, if I'm answering emails at 10 p.m., it's like, I'll see one that's a big decision, and I'm like, no, I need 10 a.m. energy to think about this and make a good decision.
That's called grown folk stuff right there. That's like that's when you know you're like, you know, that's like responsible thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully.
Definitely.
That it finally arrived at some point in my life.
For sure. So what's important to you at this point in the career? How much longer do you see yourself doing this? Are you Mick Jagger? Are you going to be 70-year-old rocking out on stage? Or what do you want out of this life?
I mean, you know, I'll do it as long as it stays relevant. You know, I think I'm grateful that I feel like we're one of the older bands, I guess. I never thought of myself as an older band, you know, because like, I don't know, you know, there's a whole generation before us, but like, I guess now we're considered some, you know, like OGs. And I think we're one of the OGs that like, you know, we still have relevance. And I like to think like we still put out some, you know, respectable music. You know, the minute we can't do any of those things or put on a show at the level that we do it, then I would say it's a wrap for Madball. I mean, creatively, I think I'll always want to do something. You know, I do like some hip hop stuff on the side. I got other projects that I've done, Hazen Street with Toby. You know, I will always want to create stuff, music. You know, might not necessarily even be hardcore, but.
Do you think that you could go on a tour and maybe just realize at some point that you're just over the touring, but still like it feels like these days like hard breakups are a lot less common where like you would still be down to go do some festivals every year because even if you're fucking over it, even if you got great things going on in your life, why wouldn't you want to get together with the boys a couple times a year and do some shows? It feels like there's less of a reason to do that hard breakup these days.
I agree. And I mean, we did have a hard breakup in 2000, but I think it was a blessing because we had to reset ourselves. But I don't see why we would have to do that again like that. Like just be like, that's it, we're done. You're never gonna see us play again, you know, and then look like a fool when you come back 2 years later, you know? So it's like, there's no reason to do that. But
the second you like break up, the pressure kind of mounts. Where then if you go 4, 5, 10 years without playing, then like everybody would be really hyped to see you reunite. So it's kind of like why even bother announcing it?
Right. Exactly. It's just
you know you're coming back.
Yeah, exactly. Fall back, and when then make the big show.
Yeah.
But I think we still have a lot of life in us. You know, I think we're still putting out good music and we're still performing. You know, at a level where I think we the people are feeling it. And and as of now, I don't have like a crazy plan B backup plan financially just yet. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors, but even if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't drag this through the mud. Like I wouldn't do it just to do it, to just pay the bills. That's part of it. We've invested a lot. So like, this has become my career, my job. So I do need to, do it to pay the bills, but that's not the only reason I would do it. And if it started to like seem like weird, like like, hey man, you guys should throw it in. Like I wouldn't be down with it. But we're not there, man. I don't feel like we're there at all. I mean, I feel like we still got a lot of life in us. We still got a lot more music to offer. I mean, come see our show if we're in your town, and you judge for yourself about the show. So I don't know. I can't project. Like I remember being asked this question like 10 years ago, and I remember being asked this question 20 years ago, and I couldn't answer it then.
Right.
I remember being asked this question many different, periods in my life.
Right.
Like, do you picture yourself doing it? And I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't know where this is going. Like, I don't, but I don't know how many more years we got, man. Could be 10, could be 20, I don't know. I don't know.
That's dope. It's dope to hear that 10 is the low end.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I think this band's got that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's good to hear that, man, just because it's motivating to see somebody who just finds something that they love and just wants to and just feels so good. Like, does it ever feel like it's a comparison? I don't know what your history is with drugs, but does it ever feel like a drug addiction where you're just like chasing this high, and every time you get a great performance in, it's like you just hit it, like that was just one good dose, and it's a hard dose to get because you have to literally like go on tour and go play all these fucking shows. It's like, but you're just chasing that fucking feeling.
Well, I've never. That's a great analogy, but yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be for real, because like you want every show to be like that show that really clicks. You want that, So I guess you could view it that way, like you're chasing that. Every show you're chasing that, but sometimes you're like, you're in somewhere where that's not what's gonna pop off, But yeah, it could be viewed that way. I mean, I'm not a drug guy, but I did have my moments with coke. I dabbled in it. I was probably the last of my friends to try it. I used to think people that did it were suckers.
Yeah.
Even if I was around it, I could help you find it if you need it.
Definitely.
But like, I know what it was, but I was like, I ain't fucking with that. I ain't doing that. And then at one point you try it, and I'm like, oh shit, I kind of like
it. Could definitely make a good guy do some suckerish things.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah. Oh man, it's terrible. But I dabbled in that. I mean, that's about the extent of like, I'm not, obviously smoke some weed here and there, but I'm not a weed guy.
Right.
Never was a big drug guy. I remember guys doing angel dust and all this crazy, people experimenting, people that love doing acid all the time. Like, I don't really like that state, like being in that that mind state. You
I
know,
think
like,
they
I
should
don't
bring
like
the
that.
Angel Dust back because there was a lot of great rap albums made off Angel Dust.
Yeah, baby.
All that Wu-Tang
I
shit.
don't know, man. There's so much whack shit out there now with like
That's a good
people
point.
dying from. So like, yeah, you know. But yeah, I had my little stint with certain things. But
You couldn't get me to do a line of coke now. I'd be
Hell
too scared. I'm like,
oh.
there's all kinds of
all that
crazy shit
fentanyl
out
and all that
there.
shit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I haven't touched that in like good 10 years.
Yeah.
And I never like now it skeeves me out. Like I remember when I stopped messing with it and I'd see people doing it around me, I'd be like, I kind of miss that. I'm way past that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't miss none of that.
Yeah.
I don't miss the feeling how I felt the next day or being up 2-3 days. I don't miss none of that. It's terrible. But I still get my drink on, you know, and like, you know, I you know, try to keep it civilized, but you know,
I seen Danny declaring his sobriety on Twitter.
I saw that.
I hope that sticks. I'm proud of him. If
I
so,
hope
yeah.
that sticks too, man. You know,
I don't even know. I never seen him fucked up. I don't think, but
or
good news.
if you did, you didn't know it.
that's what. Yeah.
But
asterisks.
he needs that. He needs that in his life right now. So yeah, let's hope it sticks, man.
Definitely
Needs that.
That's dope.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. We appreciate y'all.